Hello everybody, welcome back to Action Jack Media. Got something interesting today. I saw BoroCG or Borodonte, I don't remember what his full YouTube name is. The link to his video will be in the description. I saw him do a video recently where he drew himself as a horror character, as a villain in a horror game, and I wanted to do the same thing. So this is totally a copycat video. Love your videos, Boro. I think this is an interesting concept, and it's one that kind of warrants a webcam. I needed to kind of be on camera for this, so that you can see what my thought process is and what I'm using as reference and things like that. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing as good of a job as he did in his video, but I wanted to try the concept for myself. So yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so as you can see, I have a picture of myself looking very stoic, I guess. Let's use stoic. I think that's a decent word for this instead of really dumb. Anyway, I have this picture that I just took of myself, just basically plain blank expression. I need to be able to use this as reference for what I look like and what I know that I look like. So first of all, let's start with proportions, and let's actually just hide this picture of my face because I don't need my face to be on camera like 3 separate times because I'll be drawing my own face later. So let's start with the proportions, and I'm going to immediately exaggerate the proportions that I already have because that's, you know, something that good horror characters do. I feel is they take existing proportions and they stretch them out or they bloat them out or whatever, they make them weird. So my normal body proportions are, I have a pretty square and long torso. I flare out a little bit around the gut. I have decently long legs. I mean, I'm relatively proportionate, right? I'm a human. Most people are, right? But no, I have pretty, like, thick thighs. Your boy dummy thick. And I've got these, like, tiny feet and pretty thin, like, lower legs. I've got wide shoulders. My head is like, I don't know, I feel like I have a big head, but I don't know if that's necessarily true, but like on my neck, my head is basically straight up, but I look like I have more of a chin than I do because of the beard. Not particularly muscular or super heavy set, although I do have a little bit of body fat, clearly. So yeah, my proportions are generally not too terrible, but the first thing I want to do, I always get mocked for this at home and everything, is I have a very long torso, and regular size shirts don't tend to fit me very well. So I think we're going to play with that in the sketches here. Let me grab a different brush, and we're going to start posing a little bit while I go as well. But the first thing I want to get down is this long torso, right? So I feel like the type of character I would be in a horror game is kind of the big dumb brute type. I am not a particularly smart man, as you can see. I just drew on the wrong layer. But I would also be very chaotic. I would be very unpredictable in my AI, I think. So let's get this long torso and like a little bit of a pot belly. And the best way to exaggerate proportions is to make a, you know, torso look longer, is to give it shorter arms and legs and things like that. But I also think I have I have decently long arms. Plus horror plays well with long arms. It's scarier to have something with long arms than it is to have like little stumpy things. So I'm gonna stretch this out even more, like inhumanly long, because that's what this is about. It's not about making a human. Let's see, put my shoulders here, my big wide shoulders. Have a like hunched kind of posture. I would like lurk, but probably not very well. I don't know if I would be very intimidating as a horror monster, just because of my personality. I'm not a very intimidating person, but, you know. You can fudge some of the numbers with horror, right? Because, you know, I'm sure that there are plenty of horror monsters in fiction movies and stuff that they are not as scary, but they still give you, you know, it's all about atmosphere. Horror is all about tension and atmosphere. You know, look at Five Nights at Freddy's, for example. That game can still, at least the first one anyway, can still be pretty scary based on only the tension. Okay, so we got this long torso. And I'm going to give myself really long upper legs as well. And then like really short lower legs. And like pretty small feet. Like I said, I have really, like, for a man of my height and size, I have very small footprint. So yeah, I am strangely proportioned for sure. Arms, I almost want to give myself, like, I usually will wear either just like a regular t-shirt or a hoodie, so I almost want to say, like, make my arms like these big tubes, but that's also been done before. We'll see. You know, this is also kind of similar to designing these types of characters is also similar to designing Ben 10 aliens in some way, so maybe I'll do something like that next, where I design myself as a Ben 10 alien species of some kind, because I feel like that would also be interesting. I have really tiny hands too, so like it's kind of strange. My arms are long and decently large, but I have tiny hands. And I think even with this, I want to make the torso even longer, because this is starting to look normal again in my eye, and I want it to never look normal. Yeah, there we go. That's that long torso that we need. That really long midsection. And I feel like I don't have that particularly scary of a face, but I don't want to just do a human face either. So I'm trying to think of, like, what things about me are unappealing, and what things can be made scary, right? So I've got the beard, and I've got a pretty generic haircut. I'm looking at myself in the monitor as well, but I've got the beard. I've got a pretty generic haircut. I've got blue eyes. Maybe we can play with that and give myself, like, really bright, piercing blue eyes that would, like, shine in darkness. That could be an interesting motif to play with. So, and I'm just gonna draw general proportions, but, like, maybe instead of just human eyes, we give me, like, just blue lights that would, like, shine in the darkness. And I feel like we can even play with the beard. I usually have a much bigger beard than this. I trimmed it down for the holidays and stuff, but I usually will let it grow out. So I feel like with the beard, we could even just have, like, a big fuzzy shape that just completely envelops the face, and just have like, almost like no nose, no mouth. But I do want to have a mouth, because I feel like a mouth is a very important thing for a horror monster to have sometimes. I mean, it's not necessary. You know, look at the hype of Slender Man. And I don't want this to be a Slender Man ripoff, because he is very tall. I'm almost thinking Yeti. This is looking very Bigfoot Mothman right now, which is interesting. Maybe the setting for this would be, you know, hunting you down in the woods or something, but I don't know if that's the type of location I would want to be in. Personally, I don't like being in that type of location. I don't really like being outside very much. I'm a big shut-in nerd dork. This looks very cartoony. He's like, "Hi, how you doing today?" Got little ears. They're pretty small, like threatening ears. Although I would like to make them a little pointed. Actually, let's make these eyes way smaller. And just have these like pinpricks of light. And then the big wrinkled sockets. Now, one thing I knew that I wanted to put in this from the very beginning is I don't have very good teeth. I don't like to smile because I'm pretty insecure about the way my teeth look. But it's not a huge deal. It doesn't cause me any pain. They just, they're not straight. They're not whatever. So I want to give this guy some not so pretty teeth. But not like big, sharp venom teeth or anything. I want him to have like human teeth that are just... And this is also just something that I find kind of scary. In just real life, I really don't like seeing really gross teeth. This thing definitely like has a noise that it makes, like a almost inhuman siren-y kind of sound. Not siren head, but like a big wailing that you can hear as it chases you. Should he have a nose? Yeah, I think the nose socket is not bad. See, now here's the thing though, my hairstyle, this like swept hairstyle, is not really threatening. But I will say I am going kind of gray. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going a little bit gray in areas. So, and I don't know why I'm going gray. It's strange. So what I can do is we will maybe make up a just kind of wild hairstyle. And we will just color the whole thing gray. That looks bad. I don't like that. I don't know what we're gonna do for that. For hair, do I even have to do hair? Because in most horror games, like most monsters don't have like distinct hairstyles. Most horror villains are either bald or non-human enough to not even have hair, or they are so hairy that it doesn't matter. They don't have like hairstyles. So I feel like this is almost like an old man at this point, which I'm not really against. Old men can be creepy in video games. I've seen that done many times before. I think, what was it? It was one of the... There's a game. There was an old man as a villain. I don't remember. I don't play horror games very often, I'll be honest with you, but I like watching them. I think maybe let's give this guy a reason to be insane, and like kind of unpredictable. I want to give him like a exposed brain or skull, maybe just skull, exposed bit of something here. It doesn't have to be necessarily super gory, just something that's like strange looking. Yeah, I think that works good. Okay, so we have a face. This doesn't look anything like my own face, but I think it fits my personality of what kind of monster that I would want to be. This like big brute force, crushing force type monster. Now, what should I be wearing, if anything? If I'm a big woods monster, I don't know if I would be wearing much of anything. But clothing is a great way to describe character design. So I would like for this to maybe be like a mutant of some kind. I always liked the idea of mutated creatures and mutated things. So I think with that, maybe it was once human that was experimented on and was mutated, or something like that. So one thing I'm going to do is just give like really strange musculature to the arms, because not that I am super strong or anything, but I think with the type of villain, the type of enemy that this would be, they would kind of need to be pretty strong. I mean, they look like they're a strong type of character. So I think for clothing, we're gonna go, first of all, like straight ripped t-shirt, whatever. But I want to have multiple layers, because I usually will wear multiple layers of clothing, especially in the winter, like it is when I'm recording this. I want to have a like hoodie. I want an asymmetrical design is what I'm getting at here, is what I'm trying to explain. Actually, I'm going to erase all this and give a long-sleeved coat type look. Tattered sleeves and cuts in there, and we'll have fur poking out maybe through the, I like that. Just like one sleeve. Yeah, I think this is what we got. So I gave him like a ripped hoodie with a long sleeve that just kind of drapes down, and maybe this whole arm would be limp while it walks and lumbers and runs at you. And this arm would be, you know, what it would use to grab at you. And this would actually be its left hand, so maybe this would actually be a flipped, because I'm right-handed, right? And I barely use my left hand for anything. So, yeah, maybe flipping it and having this be the left hand, or have this be the right hand, would be the choice. But this is just concept art type stuff right now. One other thing I wanted to do is give it, since this is like a mutant, it might be like suffering from like radiation and stuff, is give it these like big boils, and just show that it's diseased, right? And it's like maybe contagious. And this does have ties to me in some way. Not that I'm diseased and contagious, but like I've struggled with acne my whole life, and I want to have a reference to that I want to show that I can poke fun at myself. I even have where is it? What is it right now? But yeah, just having like a big back full of giant nasty pustules is a good way to reference that, I think. So this is what we have for concept. I think I am going to straighten them out just a little bit. So now I guess we paint this. So I'm going to throw this into time-lapse mode and get to kind of painting a little bit, and we'll see what happens. We'll see where this goes, because I'm kind of digging this right now. So let's begin. Okay, so here we are at the, I'm going to call this the finished product because I don't have a ton of time to make this video, and I don't really want to spend the time doing a background and stuff for this because it really wasn't about that. It was about the character and the making myself, quote unquote, into a monster. So I like this finished product. I like where it goes. I like the little smoke that I did on the mouth there and stuff. I think this is effective. I think this would be a pretty good villain for a horror game. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video as a whole and want me to do more stuff like this, also let me know that in the comments. I really love comments. I love reading comments. I say this every once in a while. It really makes me feel good to know that you guys like my stuff. So, especially when I'm not doing Ben 10 content. That seems to be the most popular stuff on the channel, but I want to do other stuff. I want to just be an art tuber. So, yeah, I hope this one gets some nice engagement. And speaking of engagement, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so that you know when I go live for streaming, because I don't have like a set schedule. I'll just go live pretty erratically, so you want to know when I go live because you'll never know. Maybe I'll do a request or permission. You can get something drawn for free. So yeah, keep notifications on for that. Even specifically, I think just that alone is worth it. Elsewise, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.